brave today, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, still got a roof on my head, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, definitely sound like a win, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, definitely sound like a win, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back, definitely sound like a win. I woke up, I had life, ay, definitely sound like a win. Made it home, safe at the end of the night, definitely sound like a win. Life is a fight, fight for the heavyweight tight. Less than 12 rounds in the ring. When you get back on your feet, when you get knocked down and it counting to 10. I can't complain, I got the cover on me, I got the blood is on me. I had addiction, ain't no more drugs is on me. Jesus, they cleaned it off me, weaned it off me, just like the mud is on me. They don't see a thug is holy. I'm from the streets, I keep the Bible on me. Word is the gun is on me. Ay, ay, took a long time to deceive. When they be judging on me, that's they problem. They can take it up with them in G.O.D. That don't bother me, cause God told me that you gon' see your dream. They gon' try to talk you down once they believe they leave you be. Ay, ay, fact that I woke up this morning, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, still got a roof on my head, definitely sound like a win. Ay, kept my life a secret then, but now y'all see. I'm thanking God right now for even I'm on the beat. Everything unclean, I'm glad it's finally out of me. I do it for the king and that's just how it gotta be. Let's go out there and win, I gotta give you the same faith. This sound like locker room, we ready to win like it's game day. I'm trying to spread the word and make some noise in the same way. I'm trying to save some souls and lift them up in the same day. Ay, ay, took a loss, then I bossed up. Devil mad cause he lost us. My hard work paid off. We're taking no days off. We straight to the house like a boss. And we is not taking no loss. Cam Newton with the toss. Marshawn with the sauce. Ay, fact that I woke up this morning, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, still got a roof on my head, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, fact that I woke up this morning, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, still got a roof on my head, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, definitely sound like a win, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, definitely sound like a win, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back, definitely sound like a win.
What up, though? All right, I just had to give you guys an applause for my boy Phil Durrell with That Sounds Like a Win, which is one of my favorite tunes. He is a gospel hip hop artist. He will be on Lights, Camera, Action, hopefully this month. We're still working out dates for this month since I have a new job that I'm starting. And let me give myself a shout out. I want to shout out myself for coming into a foreign land once again as a woman that's a little more older now, because I have been relocating all my life. I done lived somewhere everywhere. And come into a foreign land and really trying to get acclimated. It is not easy. I am still not where I need to be, but I have really worked at making sure that I follow the voice of God to assist me in every step. And since I have been doing so, things have been aligning the way that they should. And I thank God right now. I had church early. I had my audio Bible. I did my prayer. I did all that before coming on to speak with you guys, because today's show is a very vulnerable show. It's called Transparency 105. And from the beginning of when I started potting, when I started my podcast, it was one of the first things that I started with. Um, and I think right now I feel like I've been potting for like a year and a half now, and I'm getting a little more comfortable. And it's that vulnerable because this is going to be the 5th episode. And so, listen, I'm all cried out though. I'm all cried out. Let me stop. So I don't really feel like I'm gonna shed a tear, but you never know. If the spirit hit me too, it might happen. But I'm hoping that you guys will lock in with me. This show, I never know how long it may take. It might take 30 minutes to get a point across. It might take 2 hours, but I'm streaming. And the reason why I'm streaming is because today will be a longer stream because of the fact that like I said, I'm starting a new job, which actually starts tomorrow. For those who don't know, that's, just coming in for the first time, don't really know me. I was a personal stylist and working in the shoe department at Nordstrom for 9 years. I have a long, extensive, I should say, management is actually something that I have been doing longer than being, a salesperson. And so, because I have moved into a whole different environment that is not California, of course, the economy is totally different. Okay. And that has, aligned me to, or it has taken me going back into management so that, I can make sure that I have a steady salary. And I can also work at trying to balance myself to to continue to grow my business as well as my media company that I started, which is onenestmedia.co. So with that being said, that's my story for that part. And I'm still going to be potting on the shows, but the biggest and the most effective show right now that I am solely focusing on is Lights, Camera, Action. That is the show that I have decided that I'm going to make sure that I actually really put a lot of effort into. And the other shows take a little more time because it's research, it's a lot of different things to discuss. And with that being said, I don't really have, like, I'm not getting monetized like on any platform. So I'm spending money out of my pocket to keep growing and different things like that. I would love for you guys to donate even $1 to my Cash App. I think I have started that campaign 90 days ago, and I I haven't seen $1, okay, out of the major amount, the thousands of people that I have on my platform. But it is what it is. I can't force people to support, and people will support what they like. And that's what's important. So I'm hoping that you guys start to see some type of worth in what I discuss, my topics, how I'm trying to rebuild the community and be a humanitarian all at the same time. Right now I am on Facebook. I am on Fresh and Friends YouTube, and I am on Instagram. If you've seen something come through earlier, that was because I was on the wrong channels. I actually have a Twitch now. Yay. I told you I'm about to take this stream into a whole nother level. But that's what I made a mistake in, had on, was my Twitch, and I don't have that fully set up yet. So I had to end that stream for those who were anticipating me to be on, and had to add another string. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I listen, it's Sunday, it's nice outside in some places across the United States. It's a lot going on. This the time that you probably eat, chill, be with your family, whatever it may be. I'm just trying to let one off, meaning that let my feelings out in hopes that later today or tomorrow or whenever you decide share in my thoughts. If you are on and you decide to pop in, you know what I'm saying, and show your girl some love, I'm hoping that you engage in the conversation if you're interested. Okay. um so if you've seen like my description, you know what some of the topics is. And pretty much not even in a particular order. However, I do want the main topic is the April 5th national protest topic. And before I start, let me just make sure there's nobody out there. I'm so bad with that. I just want to make sure. Okay. So right now I'm still looking a little naked. You know what I'm saying? It look like ain't nobody on here yet, but it's all good. So so on this transparency, usually I don't really show clips and different things like that, but for this one I kind of did, because like I said, it's been a long time. It's been a while since, I think it may be over 6-7 months since I actually had a heart to heart. And this conversation, the April 5th protest conversation. All right. So listen, I'm already most hated for just speaking my truth and not following suit. So it is what it is. I have some pros and cons about our sit our black behinds down campaign. The pro is I love the fact that this has led us to come together and to actually connect with one another and really listen, really come together as a collective and listen and be effective in something together. That is definitely a pro. And also social media made that happen, because this protest is happening all, not just America. I seen Portugal, I seen so many other countries that is in solidarity right now. So I'm elated at that, so that is to me the pro, the little sit your black behind down campaign. Okay. I can stand with that. Okay. However, the con is as soon as we do something that is together, constructive, we all on one accord, there's people that's all in other people's business and comments that is disrespecting those who decided to go out into protest. This is the problem. And this is a real problem. Like, you can't force people to sit down. There are some that have fought a little harder, a little longer than others and decided to rest. And then there are some that decided upon, maybe this is their first fight, maybe they're fighting for their own personal reasons as well as the democracy of America. But they're out there and we should just rally around them and support. And I'm talking to Black American people at this present time. Okay. We should not be celebrating because we don't see hardly any of us in the like that. To me is not godlike. I don't care how you spin it. We all still got to live together. Even like a lot of the different posts about okay, bring segregation on. We don't think things through. This is where the emotional part of us as a community comes in. Everybody's, oh, segregation, oh, we've been okay, yeah. However, there are still a lot of kinks in our community that we have to fix as a unit. We still don't have the power that we need. Listen, I'm going to keep it all the way 100. Me being in managerial positions with corporate, with small business, with whatever businesses that I may have been in, and also working for a corporation that I'm leaving, you don't see many of us in those positions. It wasn't until I moved to North Carolina and I seen so many Black managers. I was in shell shock. It's not like that all over the country. There's people in that's Hispanic managers, Asian managers, way more of a whole different demographic that is in leadership. Even when I was researching in California about, like the demographic in, because I stayed in an affluent area, and my area was mostly uh it was mostly Asian and white. And it was probably, if you look, because I lived in Chino Hills, so I stayed by the baller boys, the Jello Ball and all of them. I lived around the corner from their high school, actually. But so my thing is, it was like maybe 3% Black. And then I started doing some digging and I was like, let me take a look at some things. And the Black ownership on the West Coast is not what you think it is. Black management, all of that. So then I started doing digging in other places and I was like, Atlanta and Texas has the largest from when I was doing digging a couple years back. I think it was probably 2019. Atlanta and Texas was definitely leading when it came to successful, prominent Black people that actually have ownership in a lot of things. Okay. And we have to change some things. We still focus on buying European clothing than our own businesses that's right in front of us. There's a small 5% few that actually fully buy Black owned products, Black owned tissue, Black owned this, Black owned that. Not every household does this. Okay. So we still depend, no matter what you say and how you slice it and dice it, we still depend on a check from people that we saying, bring it on, let's segregate, let's do. First, let's come together as a collective and start to heal one another and be in one another's lives and give each other grace and give each other space to grow and to heal without always bashing one another, always being, critical, always putting down, always letting hate be the leading factor in our community and the conversations that we speak, always pushing narratives that we want people to look at us as cool, like the YN or the Shuz and the Huz. These are streamer young people conversations, because keep in mind my clothing line too, the streetwear clothing line that I am creating, it's not, well, Invisible Trendsetter, young people like that line, and that is the research that I've been doing is more on that Gen Alpha, Gen Z. And these are things that's hus and shuz and just the downplaying of who we are, and not giving each other the grace to be able to, you know, to heal or be, you know, or make mistakes. It it's exhausting. It's exhausting. We don't have time to sit down, but we do have time to rest for those that actually understand what I'm saying. Okay? We have time to rest because some of us, this is a way of life, being an activist. This is not something that, oh, you know, I've been an activist since I was, you know, maybe for 6 years, 7 years. No, I can't even tell you how long it's been for me. Okay. There's so many different issues and situations that has happened to me on being in the front line in the workplace and different things like that. I've been fired somewhere because of the fact that I spoke up and called OSHA, and had a crew of people that said that they was behind me. And then as soon as those investigations came and we had to speak up, you understand? Okay. So this is nothing new to me. And my conversation right now is coming from a place of love, and it's coming from a place of, you know, humility and accountability, if that makes sense. Holding my people accountable, but being humble with it because of the fact that I want you to know that I am somebody that shows up. If I don't even have a lot of money, it doesn't matter. If I need to pour into, if the last dollar I got is going to help with a community project, I'll get that last dollar, and then I'll pray and say, Lord, I know you're going to have somebody come through and bless me with something to eat. And maybe I should pray on it first before I get a dollar. But if it feels right and I know that it's coming from a great place, I don't mind giving what I have. I don't mind going out on the front line. I don't mind, you know, putting my resources together with other people to make it happen. I just want action. I want to see people actually say, okay, I'm gonna come pick you up at 7 a.m. Let's do this, and actually do it. But it can't just be 5% of us. It has to be 95% of us that have this mindset. That's where the issue lies. Okay? That's where the issue lies, right there. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Monique Williams from Facebook. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Also, I will be checking comments and I will be adding them in, just so you know. So what I'm going to do is, because keep in mind, I do speak to a lot of people from the hood that probably don't take the time out to do a lot of research or don't understand a lot of different things when it comes to politics and activism and different things like that. So I have some clips, and one I want to share right now. Let me get my screen up. Hey, I'm doing this without my auntie glasses, y'all. And I'm on natural light. I'm trying to be on natural light. I do have my ceiling fan light on, but it's not that bright. But I can't stand, y'all know how I feel about my ring light. So I'm trying to hurry up before the sun go down. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put up on the screen. Hold on. this listen, I'm gonna be here. Y'all might go get something to eat. I'm still probably gonna be talking because this is Transparency 105. And like I said, I am here to get it all out because I don't know when the next time I'll be able to get it all out. Okay. And hopefully y'all come back to this video, y'all share it, like it, subscribe. But I ain't pressed for that. Okay. So this is America really a democracy? Okay. Let's see here. Let me make sure. Let me put it on this screen right here. Let's pull it up. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's watch.
Political season is at its height right now, and we're all glad to be Americans because we live in a democracy. Well, wait, is this really a democracy?
America is not a democracy.
You see, I was talking with this guy.
My name is Ben Swan.
He does a lot of journalism about our political system.
And I am a reporter and anchor with WXIX TV in Cincinnati. I'm also the host and producer of Reality Check.
And I was trying to figure out what he meant. So we started talking about ancient Greece.
Ancient Greece was a democracy. The people had the ultimate say. So for instance, in the case of the healthcare law, instead of having lawmakers who would draft a bill and vote on a bill and then let the people know what the decision was, they would write a bill, a healthcare bill, and then all the people would go to the polls and the people would vote. And if the majority of the people said we like the healthcare law, it would become law. And if the majority of people said we don't like it, then it wouldn't become law. Everything would be based upon majority rules. But when the founders created our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, they established a form of government, and they actually determined that a democracy was the worst form of government.
The worst form of government?
Many of the founders said that democracy was nothing more than mob rule. And so they were against democracy and instead felt the correct form of government for this free nation was a republic.
Ah, yes, a republic. Yeah, to the republic for which it stands. So what's a republic?
Well, a republic is a form of government. Let me start that again. A republic is a form of government where the people will go to the polls to elect men and women who represent them. And then those elected leaders create and vote on laws. The people don't vote directly on laws that affect their life. Rather, it's lawmakers who are chosen among the people. And these are supposed to be the best, the smartest, the most ethical, the most moral, the most upright men and women in a society who represent the majority of society. And that's the form of government we have in the United States. The other thing that's important to understand.
Let's go back real quick. Let's look at this list. The best, smartest, ethical, moral, upright. Okay, let's continue.
Majority of society. And that's the form of government we have in the United States. The other thing that's important to understand is the distinction between democracy and a republic is that a democracy is the rule of man ruling over each other, which our founders believe turns into mob rule. A republic is the rule of law. Laws are formed and created as a Bill of Rights or a constitution, and then those laws are never superseded by mob rule or superseded by elected officials. They are all under law. So republic is actually the rule of law.
You heard it here. We are ruled by law in a republic. Let's go elect some officials then. Ben, thanks for talking.
It was a pleasure.
Okay, so the reason why many people still say democracy is because it's saying that we collectively are together as the people for the people. But the republic, as you heard, is being governed by people that we vote and decide on to govern us. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there, you know, and let's see. Let's take a look at, now you heard me talk about April 5th, and you heard me talk about the pros and the cons about it because of the fact that y'all like my topics on my screen. No, I don't know if y'all can see it. So let me go. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay. So we're going to take a look at something else in a second. Oh, you didn't see it. Okay. So we're going to take a look at a video clip, and then I'm going to be like skimming through it as we discuss it, and it's of us sitting our black behinds down, as I was saying, and some of us being out there. Now, one of the things because I watched this one already, that's why I'm going to skim through some of the things that we don't even need to discuss. And it's pretty much almost an hour long. But it's clips of different black people talking, you know, from different social media, different it could be Twitter, it could be TikTok, YouTube. I guess they put a compiled collection together. So I discussed that already on my thoughts with that. And what I want to also say is one of the biggest things is that everybody is talking about is how organized for all over the country for April 5th to have been so organized, less violence, less this and that. Now, this is going to be the narrative that's going to be pushed with the powers that be, and trying to state that it was that way because we weren't there. No, it was that way because we weren't there, but because they weren't able to be the aggressors and attack us in mobs or throw bricks in the window and pretend like we've done it. Like those videos that you seen, how people be starting stuff and then it be, you know, they be saying that we did it, all of that. Okay. So that is the narrative that is about to be pushed. Now, let's take a look at this video real quick. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting better with my share screen for those who know me. All right.
That's right. Black women are resting. We're resting. Black women, y'all stay hydrated and at home. Okay.
Reporting live from my sofa in the United States.
Okay. Yeah, this is who I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass her over. Let's talk to him real quick.
I will be available to provide you with breaking good news to outweigh the bad.
So I'm looking at the April 5th footage, and I know that there were a lot of videos leading up to it, to our community telling us to sit our black behinds down. I'm watching CNN and looking at all of the videos, and when they pan that audience, I ain't seen damn blackface. Assignment understood. I'm proud of us. Let
me say this before.
Now, this is my take on what this young lady said. This is my thoughts exactly from the time of the whole April 5th situation.
I've noticed a lot of Black people going to the protest today, and I want to say something that bothered me.
Okay, but I do want to say my take is not about not going, because I stand in solidarity for those who actually went out. Okay, I'm not dividing that. I'm not in division of that.
I've seen too many of Black people saying, "Oh, I'm going to be outside while you all sit at home," like work doesn't have to be done. The only reason why there was no violence today is because there wasn't enough Black people at that protest. The only reason why you didn't see any violence from the police officers because there weren't Black people at that protest in numbers. When we pull up in numbers, when we pull up by the hundreds, when we pull up and they see a whole group of us, they get the weapons out. To literally hear and see my people be so dense and not understand why people are no longer standing outside, stepping outside, or wanting to be in the forefront is because every time we show up with the proper numbers, they stand behind us and they allow us to get attacked.
And you understand where this whole stand behind us is? The Civil War. What happened with our brothers? Who was the ones that had to stand in the front? Okay, don't get me started.
You all were safe today because there were more white people than Black people. But anytime there's more Black people than white people, Black people don't survive. Stop acting like you haven't been around these. For the most part, from what I see, I say 30 or down. If you're at least 30 or younger, you have to have had experience Trayvon Martin. I experienced that in high school. And I'll say that that's what started the kind of like the cycle for me of seeing what happens when it comes to the difference between Black and white, how they treat us and how they treat other people. You all have seen on camera things happen to our people, and then we step outside and protest and they make it seem like we're doing the wrong thing. So stop guilt tripping people. People saying, oh, everybody's saying that we are not our ancestors. The reason why people keep saying that is because we saw our ancestors. We've seen the history. Most of them didn't survive. All of the really strong leaders that we have didn't survive. They sacrificed their bodies for the cause and didn't survive. You all are fighting and arguing with people who don't have a heart. You are fighting and arguing with people who are not intelligent enough to understand basic economics. And you want us to sacrifice ourselves again. Black Lives Matter protests happen. Who was getting hurt? Us. We literally influenced a movement that was worldwide, and we still get no credit. The one time you want to sit out, you are all making it seem like, what, we're lazy now? We weren't trying to inform everybody during the election. No, we weren't trying to tell everybody the truth. We weren't trying to tell everybody what to do, how to do it. That wasn't us standing in the field. Kamala Harris was able to raise like money overnight once she announced that she was running.
Okay, because I'm not going to show all of this, but with this conversation that she's having, definitely necessary to hear from a generation that's younger than me. And like she said, she grew up. These younger people growing up seeing Trayvon incident. And what happened? What happened to the person that lynched Trayvon? From there, it has been a cycle of not guilties, not guilties, not guilties, which have created a lot of anger and tension. On top of this happening, like she said, our ancestors and for me, elders that came before us lost their lives trying to liberate. It's not about fighting for peace. It's about fighting for freedom, liberation. That is what the fight has always been about. Freedom. Freedom physically, freedom mentally, from them not wanting us to learn how to read, our ancestors to learn how to read. What would happen when our ancestors learn how to read? What does that do for a person? It expands their mind. They start to see things. It's just like the apple. from the tree. And I'm trying to, if you know what I'm saying. You understand? However, in this case, our ancestors were supposed to eat that apple, which is the book. Okay. So the generation of learning and of growing and of evolving helped in us creating these towns and these little cities where we all started to have community as far as our elders and ancestors. That came from hiding to learn how to read, conversing in little small groups, sticking with God, something higher than themselves, in the strength that they already had from their ancestors who decided to be free by jumping off of a boat instead of being enslaved. So it goes back. And freedom has always been the number one thing that we have always been fighting for in every generation. And they know this. The powers that be is what I'm going to call them. But what I also want people to understand is that we can't stereotype and put everybody in a box, because just like there's some Black people back in the day that owned slaves, that sold their own, that never stood by us, there are some white people that stood with us, that hid our ancestors, that made sure we had a safe space, that helps us in the workplaces. We have allies. So I don't like when people pit or box things, because keep in mind, it's about this. It's about the heart. It's about the consciousness of a person and how God is working through that person to help us. And it doesn't necessarily mean any shade. You understand? Because there's people that Black people that don't want us to succeed in our own neighborhoods, in our own workplaces, that we see every single day. That's going to happen. We have to worry about building community with those that we see is taking action, in order for us to say that we want to be segregated and we want to be this and we want to be that. And it's more people, unfortunately, because they've been dangling this carrot, the social media influencer carrot, the streamer life carrot, the rapper life rock and roll look carrot, the sport player, you know what I'm saying, who making all this money and living a lavish lifestyle carrot. They've been dangling those type of things in our faces for so long that people have separated themselves in a class, Black excellence, elitism. This is Transparency 105. You can either ride or you cannot. But at the end of the day, if you read my description, you understand. If you watched any of them, you understand. I let it all out. If forever, how long it take. And I just had to get that off my chest. Now, there was a couple of things that I didn't like that she said, of course, saying that, how could we be so dense and, this, that, and the other. These are the words that need to stop. We need to stop calling each other out of our names as a people, and then having these platforms that's extremely huge. Because you're not doing nothing but still giving ammunition to the ops. This is all chess, baby, not checkers. Okay, let's see another one. Oh, this is I think they were showing the protest.
Even in the little ass town, man. And just for context, it ain't like 70, 80 degrees and sunny out this bitch today. It's damn near, it ain't even 50, I don't think. And it's windy than a motherfucker. And they still out there. All I got to say is one motherfucking thing. All my black and brown folks.
Okay, this is where he
Say
lost
it's
me.
good blessings and Godspeed. I, on the other hand, am about to go to brunch.
Record my podcast in the podcast studio. Shout out to Peer Space. Y'all go book me on Peer Space. We got an episode we shooting today, but who knew all this was going on? This is real. Go Columbia.
Hello, and welcome to another video. Please don't forget giving a like, comment, and subscribe.
Ends at dance. That's what I.
We don't want y'all carrying.
And you don't see the 86% out there. We sat it out. We stuck to our guns. Not our.
So as you guys know that there is a protest going on. It's April 5th. I think we all know. Hence the reason why I'm in the house. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not shopping anywhere. I'm not protesting or partaking in any of that mess. But as I've been scrolling, I've been noticing the videos that 97% are white people and maybe a good 3% of black people are there. And to be frank, I'm not surprised because we all know what we said that we were doing and we're all sticking to it. We're sticking besides it. Yet I thought it upon myself to leave a comment noting that there were no black people there. And this was the comment that I got in return. And the comment reads, there were a few, but this wasn't their weight to carry today. Weight to carry? We don't need y'all carrying anything. We don't want y'all carrying nothing else. Don't touch nothing. And I don't think you guys have realized that every person, place, or thing you guys have touched has either crumbled, crossed over into another parallel world, or either blown up.
See, okay, now I'm showing this because this is the division. Now, there's a lot of unification in April 5th protests. And of course, there's influencers, there's prominent people that have voices that decided to sit their black behind down. Not mad at that, like I said earlier. But what I don't want is for us to blame every white person. Like I said, where would Harriet Tubman, how many people would Harriet Tubman been able to free without the Quakers? But then she had to leave some people back because of what? If you know, you know. Okay. I'm going to sit that there. But like I said, if you know, you know. If you don't, do your research. That's all I'm going to say. The person that commented that said there were a few, but this wasn't their weight to carry. It's we are Americans. This is what I knew probably was going to happen. Exactly what I said. The narrative is going to change and say, oh, you know what? It was so peaceful all over the entire world because black people didn't show up. That's one. Not understanding that if we show up, martial law, like in numbers, oh, like the earlier person said, it would have been some weapons drawn. They would have been they would have had the stance on us. It would have been dogs. It would have been all of that. Have they not seen the previous protests from our elders all the way up until now? But as far as our weight to carry, we are Americans. There's a healthcare issue, Social Security issue, the tariffs issue, the workplace DEI issue. How is that not our place? How is that not our weight? It's just about how we choose to protest. Some sat they black behind down, because majority of the ones that hopefully sat they black behind down, like I did, was making moves on other things, as far as potting, discussing, teaching, learning, helping, by not shopping in certain, you know what I'm saying, not buying certain things, all of that. That is still a part of the collective of what's happening and what happened yesterday. Okay. And that's what I need people to see. It's not a separation thing. It's, there was some people at home that, like I said, that always protest, or that just decided, you know what, I'm good on this one. And then there's some people that probably never got out and felt guilty about it. And I'm talking to Black Americans that felt guilty about it, or said, you know what, this is our fight. Let me go out. You sit your black behind down. I'm going to go out and I'm going to stand. And I just need you to make sure that you rally for me. That's it. And that's all. But the division of the conversation, and this is where social media be losing me. People be having these huge platforms, and then they start having these conversations that is taking us, setting us back, instead of us moving forward, because we're having conversations emotionally. And that's what my biggest problem is, instead of actually strategically thinking things through. Let's see. I don't know about her. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
They told me to sit my black ass down, and I promise you I am.
But they out there representing. They're out there representing. But it's the, you already know, probably the regretters. But I didn't see too many of us out there. Y'all doing great. Y'all doing great. Let's go.
And let me tell y'all motherfuckers something else. Let me tell y'all something. Today is April the 5th. Okay? It's hands off day. I support it. I'm with it. I better not see not one liberal, progressive, Kamala supporter sitting up on TikTok live today. Ain't you got somewhere to be? Of the certain demographics. I know we chilling, we doing our big one. I don't need to see nobody else sitting up on TikTok live. If I see you on the TikTok live, I'm going to come up and ask to join the panel, and I'm going to politely tap you on your virtual shoulder and be like, ain't you late for something? Get your ass out there. Yeah, all of y'all, except for, get y'all asses out there.
Guys, this is too much. Okay, let's see. He said protesters, thank you. Let's see what he's saying.
They are protesting in D.C., and I am headed to Baltimore to mind my black business.
To all the people out protesting today, y'all be careful. We support y'all, but we ain't coming. We gonna stay right here from the couch. Well, I'm gonna stay in my office and play these video games and watch online. To the people in Austin, Waco, Dallas, seen some in Pflugerville, because I'm in Texas. It's cold out there. It's a little chilly. Y'all make sure y'all got you a lot of hot chocolate and coffee and shit. But keep going. Call some more of your friends to come out there. We need bigger crowds. You need to flood these people and make them understand what they're doing. They're your people.
Okay, guys. I think I had enough. I don't really see too much solidarity in this video.
Support versus y'all standing out there and supporting. So we might not be out there with y'all, but we stand with y'all.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's check this one out, and then after that.
We are in
enjoying our day of rest, enjoyment, and doing whatever it is we so well please. But one thing we are not doing is being on the front line. Enjoy your day, y'all.
Okay. I tell them. And what I ain't see no black folk out there, so I assume everybody got the message. Not saying we don't support, but they gonna act different if we come out there and support versus y'all standing out there and supporting. So we might not be out there with y'all, but we stand with y'all in solidarity.
That's what I wanted to see. I'm thankful that I at least seen that video because that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see somebody that had my same sentiments. You know, it's like, hey, I ain't gonna be out there, but I got your back and I appreciate you at least working at making a difference on the front end. And you have to understand also for those that are non-black, why a lot of black women have a lot of disdain for this day, or, you know, it's like I'm resting. It's because I will keep it all the way 100. The majority of black women are the biggest organizers in activism. Not saying men are not. I can name. I shout out to the founder of New Era Detroit. Love his videos. Also my boy the Black Lives Matter New York chapter, Hawk Newsome. Like there's some for real gangsta ground roots men that is out there. The head of the big nonprofit in Chicago. They've been doing it for a long time. They reform gangsters. They boots on the ground. Yes, I commend these brothers. But you got to understand that you see majority of women, because we are nurturers. We are protectors as well as men. But we definitely have been on the front end. And one of the biggest reasons is because it's been a lot of young black men that we have been standing up for because that was somebody's son. So that's why you have a lot of women also in the single, a lot of them have been single mothers in the community who start to organize different chapters. But I wanted to commend because those brothers do not get enough credit. We already know about we know about some household names, but I needed them to get shot. I need a shout out. I had to shout them out. I can't remember the brother from Chicago right now. But anyway, so let's see. I was going to show, I don't think I put it in here. I did not. Let me look for it. It's in my history though, I think. Oh, y'all need to see everything. Now, come on. Good night. Let me look in my history and look for, oh, let's see. Let me go back. See, guys, I knew it was going to be something. I logged out of my, not logged out, but I clicked off of my, okay, let's see here. Let's go to my history. I want to show one more for this that I was looking at earlier. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hold on one second. Let's go back in. I hope you guys are vibing with me. Matter of fact, let me see. Okay, I do see some people watching on my YouTube. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Okay, okay. Hey, Sister Yvette, how are you? Thank you for joining on IG. I totally appreciate you, sis. Okay, let's see here. You know, anybody know me? Know I ain't good with no. It be taking forever to do one thing, but I wind up doing it now. So listen, I'll wind up doing it. Okay, let's get back to it, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna show some of the protests across the country. This is a small clip. I'm gonna just go through it with you guys. And I do want to show also, yes, as you can see, it is predominantly white that is out there. And a lot of them also are Trump supporters. They supported Trump and they are upset the same way we're upset. So this is more of a bipartisan situation than we think. Now this I found funny because this is Atlanta. This one is funny because you already know ATL is like the predominantly black city in America. So check this out. Atlanta really set they black behind down. That's crazy work. And you know that's crazy work if Florida is out there like this. Florida?
So you wake up every morning and you know you're on the side of good. We have a purpose and we're going to win this one court case at a time, one march at a time, one fight at a time. We win it. We win it as Tina and I stood on that floor as Cory Booker gave his 25-hour marathon speech. That's how we win it. We win it with the anti-Trump tariff tax legislation that I led with Tim Kaine, and we peeled off 4 Republicans and passed that bill because Canada is our friend and not our foe. And as we said to those Republicans that day, you are independently elected. Do your jobs. You are not subject to a king because in America,
my old stumping ground, which is San Francisco. And trust and believe, when I first moved to San Francisco, I moved while they were protesting something. This right here, they stay out in them streets. Y'all see that one dude sign in the back? It says boycott everything. Boycott everything. Just everything. Start all the way over. And I agree. Fight the algorithms. Social media divides. That is true. But that's another story. That'll be another conversation. Okay, so it's at the end, but this is Portugal. Oh, this is a whole different country. Whole different country. That's crazy. That's crazy work. Absolutely. I wanted to share that moment with you guys because if you were in here and you heard about you heard me talk about my thoughts on April 5th, the protesting, the different things, and just kind of, this is just a conversation. It's a vulnerable conversation. It's a hopefully a safe space, because soon as I see anybody with some comments that is disrespectful, it's over with for them. I want anybody that is watching to be able to actually understand what I'm saying, that because these are my opinions. Okay. When I show clips, I try to show what's happening because a lot of people need to see it. And if you noticed, all across the United States and other countries have got behind us. This is I don't want to add fear into it, but this is a situation that we need to really look into and see. Because if you looked at a lot of those signs, everybody had their own personal reasons as to why they are there. Okay, it's not just one specific thing. Like when we protested Black Lives Matter movement, it was or we protest because a young king or a young queen got murdered or something like that. It was a specific situation. But with this right here, it's so many different situations that it's mind-boggling. So what is these 4 years going to look like for us if we don't try to really fight now to show the other countries, to show pretty much the powers that be, and y'all understand, if you know, the powers that be, we holding you accountable, bruh. Red, blue, I'm an independent, so I'm in red, blue, white. I guess the independent, red, white, blue. So independents, we're white. But at the end of the day, it should not matter what color that you felt like you are on. That's whole nother, that's gang banging 101. We out here politically gang banging right now. We need to come together. Even gangs come together when it's something extremely important that they need to focus on, if it's a major agenda. And that's what it needs to be right now. And that's what you've seen, because a lot of those people are not just Democrats that's out there marching. This is bigger than what you think it is. Okay, this is bigger than that. Thank you so much. Shout out to my girl Marie. Thank you for watching on IG. Thank you, little Zara. Y'all check out this amazing actress. She supported my Humble Bougie line. I appreciate you for joining. Once again, Yvette, thank you so much. And the people that is watching on my YouTube as well as my Facebook, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, this is Transparent 105. This is my stream. This might go on for as long as however it takes, but this was something that needed to be discussed, because just because some people, Black Americans, set they Black behind down, don't mean that there was no solidarity. And I want us to make sure that we start using these social media platforms as a collective properly, by not dividing, but uniting. And that means uniting with the people also that are allies. There are people that are serious allies out there that don't get the credit, don't get, look at, some of the people that helped that founded NAACP, that was a part of that whole movement, or all of these other different organizations that have assisted throughout generations. We have to stop putting everybody in a box and discuss it. It's the powers that be. We know who the powers that be is. Okay. And I'm on social media, guys, so y'all know I have to choose my words. And I'm not monetized. If y'all want to help a sister, go on and put $1 in that Cash App, or help me to buy some bottled waters or something, so when I'm up here I can at least be hydrated. You understand me? $1. One Nest Media. Okay, going to the next topic. Now, one of the biggest things that I want to talk about, okay, and if I was out there, one of the things I also would be discussing is, why are we so reactive to things and not proactive? We now want to fight when we had information for so long right in front of us about things that was going to happen, or a lot of these different politicians telling us how they really feel, and we put in the sugar on top of it to make it something that it actually wasn't. They said what they said, they stood on it, and now we all want to be like, no. You have to also read and understand political lingo, activism lingo, all them different lingos that be happening. Okay. So, we can't just be voting because of charisma, or somebody was on TV, or they're a billionaire, or they got so much money they might help us get out of debt. We are completely in debt with China, and he is taxing them like crazy for tariffs. Our neighbor is Canada, who has always been our ally, and he went back on his word, and he's taxing them like crazy. Mexico, who also have been an ally, taxing them like crazy. And one of the things that I did not add, which was the one of the leaders from Canada, which I watched today, and he was saying, now he's talking to his Canadian people, and he's saying America is about to fall, the inflation is about to be high, the disconnect is not, it's happening, and we are about to be a more not secure company, not secure country. Okay, a vulnerable country. That's the biggest thing. That has been the biggest thing that us citizens have always voted on, and that was us to have protection, us to be protected. And when you start seeing all of these sloppy situations happening with the conversations that were leaked, that was classified evidence and different things like that. Okay. All right. So we offer this topic. All right. Now, one of the biggest things that, now I'm talking to my brothers and sisters again. Okay. And allies, please take a listen. And if you can, want to chime in, you have some resources or something, please feel free to add them. But this conversation is about, earlier when I was talking about how we were talking about, let's segregate, let's do this. Strategy is so important. And not only just strategy, but it is a reason why our ancestors fought for us to be able to integrate to a certain degree, but still wanted to be segregated. Keep in mind, even Martin Luther King wanted a certain segregation, but for us to still be able to have the freedoms to integrate if needed. Okay? That was all that they were saying. Okay? But now it has gotten to a point where we have gotten so dependent. Don't look the other generations. We be talking about how our ancestors and our elders, they they got murked, rest in peace, for their causes, and because they wanted freedom, correct? And they wanted freedom for us. They were fighting for something way ahead of what they probably were. Kind of like, okay, don't let me get started. I was about to say the Israelite situation with Joshua and Caleb. Let me leave that alone. Let me leave that alone, because this is not about religion, okay? But I am a Christian, for everybody who don't know. We'll say this. There have been, like I said, carrots that have been dangled for so long that the conditioning is to the Stockholm syndrome. There's no way that 90% of the people will be on board with total segregation. Okay. But when I was also talking about our community coming together and healing, the first thing that we have to do, and this is a system. Okay. The system is for us, if we want to get back to how Tulsa, the mindset of the our elders and ancestors from back in the day, when they created communities, and because they had no choice but to be segregated, and they started building successful communities, and then got hated on, and all over the United States, all the successful Black communities that were created because everybody got together, healed each other, helped each other, bartered, did whatever they had to do to bring all their resources together. And then, of course, they got bombed, they got dismantled in so many different ways. That whole mentality still exists today. It's just a different way. Okay. And one of the topics, and this is about to be heavy, are we being erased as Black Americans? Okay. And what I mean by that is, I just discussed the communities. Now we also have the fight of monumental situations and history that happened, and the true people that were the first to invent something, but because of the fact that they were owned by somebody, they couldn't get it patent, so that person had to get it patent and they took credit. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So all of that history is being erased now. Critical thinking being erased. Critical race theory being erased. Books, literature being burned, banned, erased. Names that have been prominent in schools being taken out so that no one knows who they are. So we got that part of it. Okay. Y'all see where I'm going with this? Y'all tracking with me, right? Okay. So now resources in the communities. What programs? What programs, governmental programs, is assisting in the communities? Like back in the day, I remember when there was after school, there were after school programs the government was assisting, and a child really never went hungry. And trust me, I was one of the ones that grew up po broke. Okay, so sometimes if I didn't eat free lunch, I knew that I could go into the community center and somebody would give me a sandwich as a child. Where's those programs at? But what about the nonprofit organizations? The problem is the nonprofit organizations are not being funded, because guess who actually pours more money into the nonprofits? Small black, well, I'm not going to say black, small businesses. Small businesses is the heart of the economy. People don't want to discuss that. Small businesses is the heart of the economy. When you start to loot, steal, rob, self-employed and entrepreneurs that are small business owners in your neighborhoods, and then they have to close, that messes up the system. So now the nonprofits don't really have the funding and can hardly get certain funding for specific people, meaning minorities. Okay. So now you have that issue. So since there's no nonprofit organizations to keep these kids in the hood busy mentally, like we were talking about, if you've been tracking with me from the beginning, like how our ancestors weren't supposed to learn how to read and they had to go hide with a book to learn because their slave owners would see that and would be upset because they didn't want their minds freed. What do you think is happening right now in the communities? Those nonprofit organizations is being dismantled across all of the neighborhoods. They put Sega Genesis and PlayStations. Those are being substituted for social media, PlayStation games, Sega Genesis, whatever is out there, because I don't play those. To make sure that to keep your mind occupied for hours upon hours of content that is not going to feed your brain. Okay, this is kids. This is I'm showing the way that the community is evolving now, or disevolving. Okay, disevolving. Now, before I finish, I just want to show a clip. And thank you for everybody that is watching Transparency 105. This probably has been my longest Transparency show. And the reason being, like I said, I don't know when I'm going to do it. It might be a year. Like I've been potting for a year and a half and I'm only on episode 5 because trust me, I'm sharing everything and I'm talking the way I want to talk, and I don't care how long, and I'm gonna clip some things, but I need people to hear my heart. And those that is like-minded, please leave a like, share, subscribe. Let's have these conversations, okay? Because this is in a hood format. I'm from the hood, I'm from the street, and I've seen it all. And now that I have been working on educating myself and also following God. This is just all in alignment of the things that I want to share with you. Okay. So let's go to, let's see here. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, I have a clip that I want to show. Hold on. That discusses, hold on. It's called How Does the Environment Affect a Child's Brain Development? Let's discuss this. Okay. Let's discuss this real quick. All right. And this is like a 40-second clip, guys.
There have actually been a lot of studies on how the environment can affect a child's brain development. One of the biggest things they've seen is that having a lot of stress can actually affect a child's growing memory. A lot of stress can decrease a child's working memory as they get older. In addition, not having enough food, not having the basic things you need to live, obviously the child's going to focus more of its effort to that and less on learning. So when a child doesn't have enough nutrition, that can definitely affect the brain's development because your brain needs food to develop.
Okay. Your brain needs food to development to develop, and also nutritional food, correct? However, what do we see in our neighborhoods majority of the time? McDonald's, penny candy store, unless your mom get WIC and she decide, or your family gets WIC and sometimes they'll give you some nutritional things in the WIC box. Well, this is me growing up, but I don't even know if they do WIC. I think it's EBT and some other stuff now. However, we have to look at it like this. So we already know no nonprofits hardly. Now we do, and I love the fact that we do have some people, like some prominent Black people, some people with money and resources, some different people that put their monies together and create these nonprofits, or we do have people that fight hard to try to get funding from the government, okay, to try to create nonprofits. I don't want to lose them. I don't want to leave them out either. I want to commend them for that. It's just not enough. And now they're trying to stop those fundings. Okay. They're trying to make it hard. They know they can't stop it because they don't want to look like villains. But trust and believe when I say, just like it's hard for a Black person to get a house, boom. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So with that being said, the lack of that nutrition, not having food, living in a poor living in a poor neighborhood and areas that's low income, seeing a lot of situations and trauma and different things around them because of the fact that they already stressed. They seeing other people that's living this way. That's all that they're surrounded by 24/7 all day long. They have no place to go. The playgrounds are not safe. And what could they possibly do? Go crash out on GTA. So they get their homies, they create families of different people, homeboys, homegirls, create these gangs because probably family, the mother, father is either working because they got to work 2 or 3 jobs, or they probably not there because of drugs, or they probably friends acting like friends instead of acting like parents, whatever it may be. They start crashing out. Okay. They start crashing out. They start looking at these different things on social media. things that they want, things they know they can't get. How can we get it? Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do that. Okay. And keep in mind the environment they're already in. People always be like, oh, well, you know what, your environment. Okay. That comes from OGs. And when I say OGs, because I'm an OG, I mean female and male OGs who've been there, done that, who take these shorties under their wing and who say, you know how to you're very analytical. You know what? You probably could be a doctor, or you probably can be an engineer. You know what? You're very talented. You probably can be an artist, or you probably speaking life into them. Once they get out of the hood and once they change their life, correct? So some small pockets of people wind up getting mentors. Kendrick Lamar. Some are their fathers, some are their mothers, as far as like Serena and, you know, living in the hood. They seen a bunch of violence. However, they father kept them on the straight and narrow to stay focused on something. So that's what they learned early. It's about building mentorships, creating mentorships, building some type of connection so that these kids can have somebody that look like them or that understands them and say, you know what, I do got talent. Let me dive into that a little more. There's a lot of people that have grew up in the hood, and people, even OGs that is still in the streets, or the young men that's around them that see their potential and say, you know what, no, I'm gonna support your talent, homie. You ain't about to be coming to slide. You need to go pick up a mic, or you need to pick up a book because you smart. Okay. Those are the ones, and it's not many. But what if it was like that for so many of our young men and young women that is in these communities? Okay, we constantly talking about segregating, but we haven't gotten to the strategy of how we're going to make sure that we change the mindset of these 13-year-old through 17-year-old kids that's growing up. Okay, we have to change their mindset in order for us to be able to see them differently. And even if they can't change the environment that they're in, where's the mega mentorship programs? Oh, they're cut. A lot of them are cut, or a lot of people are not volunteering anymore for YMCA, YWCA, being a mentor, Big Boys Club, because a lot of the OGs are crashing out. Okay, so let me show y'all this one clip. Speaking of 13 and 17-year-olds. Woo, wait till you see this one though, and you'll understand exactly what I'm trying to say to you. Okay. I just want to appreciate thank everybody who is actually watching and that's actually watching, that's actually engaged. I appreciate it. Like I said, this is going to be long. But hang in there with me. It's definitely going to be some clips. I'm going to have to make some clips of this because this is a stream. This is actually, I'm going to be on Twitch, guys. So I'm getting used. I need to get used to this, because once I start streaming on Twitch, it's going to be 2-hour streams, 3-hour streams. But okay, let's get it. Let's go. Oh, hold on.
And welcome back to The Factor. Uncensored. Harris County authorities say a mother was assaulted by her teenage daughters after she disconnected the Wi-Fi. They allege the girls then plotted to kill their mother. Those teens, ages 14, 15, and 16 years old, said to have grabbed kitchen knives, chasing their mom, attempting to stab her. The mother was hit with a brick, and the teen's grandmother was knocked over while trying to intervene. Nearby neighbors say the family has had a history of disturbances at their home. Joining us to talk about this disturbing situation that's still under investigation as we speak, trauma therapist Chow Nguyen and parent Narika Henderson. So, Narika, first of all, when you see a case like this as a mother, what kind of thoughts does it bring up in your mind?
It's very disturbing, and it's alarming at the rate that today's generation of children, they have a sense of entitlement, and they seem to be extremely disrespectful.
And of course, in your life, you had to make some changes. Tell us a little bit about how you had to guide your path when it came to your children.
When it comes to parenting, there is no handbook on parenting. So of course, there are going to be mistakes on both sides, and everybody has their view or their story. Perception is reality. So of course, in parenting, you make mistakes, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you, and knowing that you can't change the past. Things have occurred with your children that you or the children may not agree with, but sometimes you have to choose peace.
And so that peace came in what form for you?
It came in the form of me accepting that adult children have a right to choose, and I can't control them. And sometimes you have to remove yourself from situations and environments in order to protect your peace and your freedom.
Was that tough on you?
Oh, it's tough. It's very painful for a mom to have to make hard decisions, but sometimes you have to exhibit tough love.
All right, Chow, let's bring you and go back to the heart of this case. When you see children allegedly behaving like this with their mother, your thoughts, what's going on here? What's your assessment of the situation?
Well, it's disturbing at best, right? You've got 3 teenagers, and we look at developmental growth. And in those teenage years, you have rebellion, you have impulse control issues, you have opposition defiance disorder issues. Kids are acting out. In this case, these kids are plotting to kill their mother. And interestingly enough, it's actually been studied. It's called adolescence parricide, the killing of the parents by the teens. And there's 2 camps. You're either severely mentally ill or you're pathological. And this sounds very pathological. These kids plotted to kill because mom took away Wi-Fi, and there's a history of disturbances in the house.
Should we be shocked about that children would go to such extremes when it comes to something as simple as Wi-Fi? Look at the neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's shocking, and it's rare that kids would go all the way to plotting their parents' death. It happens. It's in very rare occasions. But we're looking at, this is a pathological act. This isn't a normal act, but it should be a wake-up call to parents. They should establish boundaries. And they should establish those boundaries early. Your parents have a right to take away Wi-Fi. And never mind that the brain, the teenage brain, can have deleterious effects when it's, absorbed in electronics. I mean, by some estimates, kids are on their electronics up to 9 hours a day. It disturbs your neural pathway, your developmental growth, your thinking, your reasoning.
Narika, from your perspective, have we given children too much freedom, too much leeway now in this day and age where if they don't get what they want, they could allegedly, go after mom and try to kill her?
Yeah, I think that we have made the mistake of trying to give our children what we did not have. And in the process, I think those children have gotten extremely out of control. And it's to the point that you're afraid to even discipline them, because who is it that's dictating what is discipline and what is abuse? So.
All right. We want to thank you both for joining us here on The Factor. Just a horrible story here in our community, and we wish the family the best in dealing with this. Still ahead.
Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hold on. Okay. Whew. 3 teenage girls plotted to kill their mother because she cut off the Wi-Fi and they injured their grandmother in the process. The young lady, the sister that was on the panel, who said that they are entitled and this, that, and the other. And you know, that is true. We are living in a more entitled generation. However, that is the reason why I came to you guys to show you how deeper it is than what these people with these large platforms, they have these sound bites, or they're not getting to the nitty gritty of what is really happening. And you know, the Asian lady that was saying about, you know, the environment, the different things or whatever, she tried to touch on it. The resources are not in the neighborhood. The parenting is not in the neighborhood. Now, for those young ladies, earlier on, that 40-second clip I showed you about the health issues when a child grows up with no nutrition, no food, and bad environments, and how that already creates stress on top of the traumatic situations, environments that they may be around. We're not going to blame that, you know, they didn't say anything about the father, because a lot of people that was bashing the mom in the comments about, oh, if it was a man in the house, he probably was a crash out. You never know. So we're not going to say anything about that. Then some said her parenting probably was bad. And when you give children what they want instead of what they need, and not give it to them in doses, and not explain different things as to why they don't need that or why they shouldn't, then but the social media age and not being able to control them being on it, like the lady said, they be on it for 9 hours at a time. 9 hours. So you don't have no homework. You go to school, you come home, you on social media until it's time for you to go to sleep. And because of the fact that the parents don't want conflict, or they afraid of conflict, or they just want them out the way, they allow this to happen. They allow them to be on these platforms that shows nothing but filters. They're growing up they're young still, they're still impressionable. So they're growing up with these filters, they're growing up with just seeing dancing, they're growing up with, you know, just watching these streamers crash out and different things like that, or just gaming, or seeing some of their faves with all this expensive stuff, hearing the female saying, oh, she got the AP on the wrist because she, you know, hit the it. You know what I'm saying? Just like all day for 9 hours. All day for 9 hours. No community centers, no mentorships, because the OGs and the young, the Tia Kemps, I'm gonna put her out there, and the 50 cents want to crash out. You see what I'm saying? You understand where I'm getting at? We got to clean up. It's got to be the mindset that we tackle. And how do we tackle the mindset? How do we change that before it gets bad? We try to take action in our communities by rebuilding and restructuring independent organizations. even if it has to be funded by Black-owned businesses. But the only way that it can be is if we start pouring into our Black-owned businesses so we can recycle that dollar. But nobody wants to buy from Black-owned because they rather give it to Prada, Gucci, and, and Louis Vuitton. You understand me? And the reason why they rather give it to Louis Vuitton, Gucci, because the rappers talk about it instead of talking about all these amazing Black designers that's hecka dope out there. True story. I tried to give a couple of influencers some different things, as well as some actors and actresses. They told me it was like 5,000 just for like a week of promotions. I'm not paying nobody. I'm not ever paying nobody to wear my product, and they don't stand by it. This is what I'm saying. So they come to us, because I'll have a clothing brand for those that don't know. They come to us and they be taxing. But then you'll see them in Louis Vuitton. You'll see them in Brunello Cucinelli. You'll see them in Loewe. And they buy it themselves, or they get the stylist, and the stylist go get it from these brands. But a lot of those brands don't want to deal with no Black folks. So then the stylist got to buy it, or the label has to buy it, or the agent or whoever. They don't even want to deal. And keep in mind, I've been working in designer for 9 years. I'm not going to say what company, because, you know what I'm saying? However, I know the system. I know how it go. So what I'm saying is we got a long way to go before we talking about 100% segregation. We not there yet. We not Tulsa ready. We not Rosewood ready. We not ready on any level, because we still got to work on the mindset of the youth and help them to stop crashing out quick. We got to start by also speaking life into them instead of making YN a thing. YN should not be a name. YN Melly. Okay. I didn't even know what YN meant with some of them until somebody told me. And then for some reason, it seemed like it's a cool thing. And now people that are not Black love it. They're making it cool. And so now the Black people is like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm a YN. Okay, let's watch this. Let's watch this. Hold on. You think I'm playing? Let's watch this. This is crazy to me. Hold on. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Cause y'all, I'm on one right now, but let me show you. Hold up. Tell me I put that on there. Yeah. Watch this. This is crazy work. Hold on. Let me make sure it's on here. Okay. Y'all ain't gonna believe
How to
this.
dress like a YN. First, get some black skinny jeans. Okay, good, now put them on. Now get a graphic tee or a black jacket. Okay, good thinking. Now it's coming along. Now go get some black shoes that you can run in. Perfect, you was made to be a YN. Now get a Nike ski. Great, put it on, you gotta watch out for the arms. Okay, last and foremost, go get the bag with the switch in it. Good, now go be a YN.
This is crazy.
Hey, what up, y'all? Yo, do me a favor, man. We gotta stop using the term YN. Y'all gotta stop using that. I don't use it, but y'all gotta stop using that, yo. Like, that ain't doing nothing for these young dudes, man. That's not doing nothing for them. That ain't making them look better in no way, shape, or form. That definitely ain't making us look at them no better. So, I mean, at some point, the ignorance got to stop somewhere, and it's gonna have to be with us older people, because y'all, the younger people and the 20 somethings and the 30 somethings, the early 30 somethings, y'all just basically like them, like the people y'all talking about, man.
Yep.
Like we gotta cut this shit out somewhere at some point. Let's start small. Stop calling them YNs and stop making it seem like it's cool, because it ain't cool, to be honest.
Thank you, brother. That's a brother. That's an OG holding people accountable, holding these young people accountable, holding these people that think it's cool to say. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy work. Like, I don't like it. It should be, hold on. This is the part that I'll still be trying to learn. And guess what? The sun going down, guys. So y'all probably ain't gonna see me in a minute. You know I'm 4C black. I might have to turn the light up or something. However, so I won't lose my train of thought. Young king, young queens. You know what I'm saying? Stop calling these young girls huzzes and chuzzes. Stop calling these dudes YNs. And if you don't know what a huzz or a chuzz is, look it up in the urban slang. You know, I've been in the hip hop industry forever, so I just pick up on stuff. Yeah. But I'm not happy with a lot of the dialogue. You know what I'm saying? And it's so cool now. It's people that is non-black that is being welcomed to say these derogatory things to people in our culture. And that's because we don't have boundaries. Okay. And it's the OGs. The OGs is crashing out. Like I said, Meech and 50 and Rick Ross, and then you got Jim Jones and Cam, and these are influential people that people used to look up to back in the day. That's why I'm saying. And then, like I said, I'm in hip hop. You got activists that be disrespecting each other, like Boyce Watkins and Roland Martin. Come on. These are black educated men crashing out on each other on platforms, showing that they're not solidified. Come on, guys. I'm holding you accountable today. Okay. So I said names too. I don't care. Listen, I don't care. I'm not monetized. I'm not making no money from this. There's no profit, no gain, no nothing. This is my heart. This is what I stand on 10 toes. Because for all these times I've been out on the front line, or I've been giving money, or I've been in uncomfortable situations for the team, then I need to be able to speak up about what's going on in house, because that's what we got to fix first. Okay. So yeah, this is not a rant. This is just me having my conversation, and just kind of like I told you, transparency 105, just sharing my thoughts. These men my age, they looking very unattractive on a daily. Scrolling through social media, very unattractive with some of the posting in the comments and the different things. I'm like, sheesh. Man, do I need to buy a cat? What kind of cat should I get, guys? Because I don't know. But you know, being funny but not being funny. So yeah, real OGs, where you at? Okay. The fights on social media is getting out of hand. And honestly, this is just not blacks. I've seen some now with a bunch of Latinos, Hispanics, blacks, all type of different fights just on my timeline. I'm like, what is happening? The lawlessness is running rampant. Social media and the fights, however, I see more of us fighting than anything. And, you know, we're fighting our young kids, because I'm calling them kids because of their mentality, are fighting in high-end places, are fighting in places that is elevated. I want to shout out this restaurant owner named Gus Tyler, who is going through something right now. Signature Chop House, they actually allowed me to do my first live show where I physically was there. It's a very nice, beautiful, high-end, gorgeous steakhouse. And unfortunately, he's having some trouble with the city. This is in Flushing, Michigan. He's having some trouble with the city trying to shut him down. And you know, because of him trying to open up his doors to a different demographic who did not respect it and wind up tearing his place up. And that's horrible. And it was Black American community. Okay. A lot of these is going viral. People are sharing it. People who never share nothing positive, they be getting like 100 shares on social media fights. And I already said, which what I've decided to do every time I see a fight, especially when I see somebody my age sharing that crap, I either unfollow them depending on the level of importance, or I put it on where I don't see their post anymore. Because that's not what my timeline. When I get on social media, I want to have a productive timeline full of people that have the same idea as me, the same focus, the same drive, the same movements. That's what I'm looking for. Or people that are teachable, people that are bringing their interest in aligning their ideas and different things with me so that we can build. Okay. That's what I thought social media was for, but it's something different now. Okay. In my last conversation, which it just really seemed, because I'm not going to talk about the anxiety and fear being weaponized. I really, I don't even want to get into that bag. I feel like that could be a situation where I discuss that on another note. But I do want to talk about women accountability versus being a pick-me. Okay. Because I think that'll be that. I think that, but I also had like a clip of something that yeah, we might also show a clip about so many people saying Black Americans have no culture. Like that's one of the reasons why we're being erased. I forgot to show that clip. Okay, we'll discuss that at the very, very end. But women in accountability, and let me see if I thought I had a clip from queen, my queen. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, hold on. Let me get this clip ready to show y'all. Okay. So Felicia Rashad, for those who don't know, she is the Black American sweetheart, mother of the year sweetheart from back in the day, from watching the Cosby Show and just all the different shows she's been on. She's always been this nurturing mother. She really is. She makes sure that her roles are important, inspirational, and wholesome to the community, because she came into, theater and television at a time when people were more natural. And listen, I'm not here to, like I said, this Transparency 105, I'm not here to be politically correct with nobody. People was more natural, like on Different World and, Cosby Show. And, it was just beautiful 90s black, and outfits was cute, and girls were not showing everything. And it was about intellect, and a lot of the different shows were different, not all the same. Now all the shows are kind of similar and emulate one another. It was like a diverse amount of shows in the 80s and 90s, and we could go and look at something and be like, oh, I want to go to college. Or we could look at another show and be like, oh, I want girlfriends like that, I want roommates that's cool like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? It was different. She came from that era. Okay, so she's seen something different, and she just want something better for our generation, well, for the newer generation. But because of the fact, especially in these generation, this modern generation, you can't tell them nothing. No woman wants to be held accountable. My viewership are mostly men when I looked at my YouTube. And you know why? And I'm not a pick me, and I hardly even talk about women. But when I do, I hold women and men accountable to the same standard. Okay? You don't like it, then it is what it is. But that's what one of the biggest issues is that women don't want to be held accountable for anything, and men can't stand to be held accountable for anything. So what is happening to our community with that? Okay? All right. So peep this. Now they gave her more grace than they gave Monique with the bonnets. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Do not believe that Felicia Rashad is a pick me, right? I think that when it comes down to who was sending the message, right? So for instance, she brought up Ice-T and Coco. If Coco were to say that same thing, I would have an issue with it, because it's Coco saying it. She dresses how she wants to dress, right? And then to try to police how women dress, that would be a whole different story. It's coming from Felicia Rashad, the internet's mama, who is known for being classy and graceful. She is speaking exactly the way that she should be based on her character, right? And so, and I also have a challenge with it's like if the shoe don't fit, keep it pushing, right? She's obviously not. She is coming from a what we'll call like a heteronormative lens, right? So of course, it would not relate to women that date other women, right? It would not relate to women that are trying to seek attention from the male gaze, right? And to be honest, just so y'all know, sometimes women really don't dress for men. A lot of times we really do dress for ourselves and also for other women. For example, when I'm getting dressed, I'm not hitting up some dude, I'm hitting up my girls. When I'm going out, I'm not looking to dudes, I'm looking for that compliment from shorty across the room, right? And it's like, yeah, see, I did put this on, right? So sometimes it's really about, yes, us, but also for the female gaze as well. So there were some things that y'all said that I was like, I agree with, and there's also some other things that she did say in the video.
And welcome back to
Okay,
the Factor
let's
Uncensored.
hold on. Let me stop sharing. Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. Oh, I'm just falling off. I was doing good at first with this. I was thinking. Okay, hold on. Let me just go out. Guys, I don't dress for the female gaze, and I don't dress for the male gaze. And I'm a personal stylist. I help people with fashion. And I do have different clients that have different needs, and they talk and share with me as to why they want to change it up or whatever it may be. So yes, she's correct. It may be that but that's cap when she talking about the male glaze and looking across. No, it's all cap. And that's what I'm saying. We can't even keep it 100 with ourselves, or maybe it's just this modern era. But I could care less what a female think I look like. Now, when she talking about, girl, let's go out. Yeah, back in the day, we used to do that and be like, yeah. But then I caught on quick. She don't want me looking better than her. You really think she gonna give me the honest opinion on what shoes I should wear, what I need to be comfortable in my skin and what I choose? Okay. So at the end of the day, Felicia Rashad made a disclaimer and said, ladies, I'm not disrespecting you in any kind of way. When she was on the Breakfast Club, she was very compassionate and humble in her approach of words, and still got bashed by so many young women. And it has come to the point where we know that, this trend started, feminist movement, feminism got big, and also like the early 2000s with hip hop and women changing the direction of some of their lyrics and how they started speaking in the raps and talking in the raps, and or just even the empowerment of some of the actors and some of the actresses who wanted to push the envelope with style, and R&B artists and pop artists or whatever on the red carpet. And from there, it's always influencers. It's always Hollywood. It's always something visual in our community that we see that somebody does that start, they're the one. Like an example, Jennifer Lopez with the sheer dress that was so talked about, Toni Braxton dress on the red carpet. After that, it was over with. It was over with. Women was like, oh, I can show my beautiful glistening skin and body, and I get praised for it without being tore down. Okay. But it's how you, and those women that I just said, the way that they carried themselves was totally different versus how some women carry themselves in what they're wearing. Okay. And I think that's what she was trying to say, but not trying to say, Felicia Rashad, if you get what I'm saying. But pick me. I hate that term came out with. Pick me and accountability is what I'm doing right now, holding women accountable, because I'm for women. Everybody know that I'm super pro women. You know what I'm saying? I have a show called Protect Black Women. I just finished my Women's Month show, and I gave homage to a lot of women that I don't even speak to today, but still they made an impact in my life. Okay. So when it comes to me, paying homage and loving on my sisters and my queens, or even if they non-black and they've been in my life and they made an impact, they know I give flowers because I don't know when my last day gonna be. So I give flowers. But if you wrong, you also wrong. And because somebody call you out on it don't necessarily mean that they are trying to get noticed by men to call you out, because that's what a pick me is. A pick me is a woman who constantly pandered to men so that she can be looked at as someone that is extremely attractive in his eyes and somebody that he actually wants versus the other woman. Okay. I'm not even trying to date right now, so I could care less. No disrespect, fellas, but I'm like on something different right now. I'm not, none of that matters. What matters is building our community and stop with all of the Willie Lynch, this whole situation that's happening, this whole Jim Crow laws that have been updated. We have to tear that up, and we have to restructure and rebuild our community from the ground up. And that means changing the mindset of the young kings and queens that's growing up today, because they are our future. They are our future. Okay. Okay, guys. Woo, I know y'all tired of me, but guess what? If you don't see me in a week, you know why, because I told you I'm starting a new job. I'm a manager now. I have to get my schedules together, and the one thing that you will see is lights, camera, and action. Okay. Unfortunately, I might have to go to once a month to do that until I find my rhythm. And if I was making money, that would be different. I would really, really pump. But because I'm not, and because this is pretty much like me just on some, just trying to talk to my people, then that it is what it is. So I do have someone in mind. I've spoken with her. We're just trying to set a date. Beautiful actress from my hometown of Flint, Michigan. I am extremely excited, but I don't want to say too much, because if things happen and she can't make it, I'm going to be like, But with that also being said, I do have a link tree now. So because I got a lot of links, I just realized it. I now have my audio podcast on Spotify. I'm going to be on Twitch streaming, and I'm also working on curating Lights Camera Action on TikTok and on IG. So I have Lights Camera Action IG pages. So if you see me trying to get followed, follow me back, please. And I'm going to be adding actresses and actors and new upcoming actors and actresses that's out there trying to get their, trying to do their thing that you probably haven't heard of, but pretty much is hidden treasures, as well as those that you have heard of that's probably, on the playlist, the movie playlist, all of that. Okay. And I'm going to add them into one collective IG page as well as TikTok page, along with some of the things that they're back behind the scenes. I'm gonna be stalking and snatching a couple of things off some of my faves pages and stuff. However, this is something that I like. I'm passionate about, and I appreciate everyone who has been a part of the Lights Camera Action show. All of the actors, all of the actresses, all of the musicians, anybody that's been a part of it that actually have given me their time. Thank you. I love y'all. Y'all my destiny helpers. Okay. And with that being said, the end of this year, you know what? I want to shout out my girl Shay Mack. Let me find that. There's a quote that she said. Hold on, I'm jumping on Facebook real quick, guys. I don't know if y'all can see my stream with me scrolling, but hold on, let me find it real quick. There's I'm going to scroll. Oh, let me show y'all a couple of things while we on here. Let me share my screen. Oh, hold on, let me make sure you can see it. Oh, I always be forgetting to add to the stage. Don't be looking at all my stuff. Okay, so my girl, shout out to my girl Rashida Jones. Sheeta, follow her on Sheeta Jones, and I think she's Rashida Jones on IG. She's dope. This is what she do. Me and her back in the Atlanta days, we had a company together called Queens on the Scene. We did promotions and marketing for some of your favorite artists. I'm not about to name drop. If you know, you know. And she was in college, so she handled the administration part. I'm the hood chick who jump and climb trees and post posters and all over the place, and so I was the rough and rugged grassroots person. She was the one that was in the office. She knows that I am not computer literate, but she is so excited that I have learned how to pretty much learn all of this that I'm doing on my own, because I learned, I studied, and I'm still studying. So the other day, she just out of the blue said, check your phone. And I was like, okay. I checked my phone and she hooked the sister up. Look at that. Oneness Media Co. Now I do own this. I just got it. It's called onenessmedia.co. I will be creating a website where everything will be all in one place for you guys, so I won't be dependent on social media and be having anxiety sometimes. And then also she did this too. This is fire. I appreciate her. And thank you to everyone who actually showed me some love. Hold on. Can I make this bigger? So yeah, okay. So this is Oneness Media Co. Rebuilding. I'm working on rebuilding community one pod at a time. And this is my mission statement. One Media Co. is a vibrant, and I don't have my glasses on, guys, is a vibrant media platform created to connect and foster stronger relationships within the Black American community while shining a powerful light on Black excellence. Founded by Sharnessa McQueen, Oneness Media Co. is committed to uplifting authentic voices and stories through thought-provoking content and engaging conversations. And just if you did not catch it, Oneness, because I consider myself, hey, number one. I'm working on being the number one podcaster because I'm coming for Joe Budden and all the rest of them. However, oneness, like a oneness. You know what I'm saying? So you see what I did there, right? Oneness. And my name is Nessa, but oneness, like ONENESS. So we all are one. Okay. I've been wanting to tell people that for the longest. I guess I had to do it on Transparency 105. Now we host a range of dynamic podcast shows, and I want to talk about this later because I'm right now because I'm going to be adding some hosts because I ain't gonna be doing this for long all by myself. Lights, camera, action. That's gonna be my baby forever though, because I love movies and shows and reacting. So protect Black women. Okay. Support real men. Let's whine about it. in the Watch Later show, and they all have their specific reasoning as to why I separated them. And what my goal is to find people that's in the audience that's been with me, my day ones, people that, you know, watch my shows, people that, you know, show me mad love when they see me, they liking my you know, they just supporting in any kind of way and showing me that they actually are, you know, engaged. That's my community and my tribe. So before I do anything, I want to look for those people, because I have personally been trying to, you know, say, oh, I want this person. And okay, hold on. I might say, oh, I want this person to do this show, but that person never even supports. Like, and I said to myself, why do I want them to do the show and they don't even know what my shows entail of or nothing. Okay, let me look for Shay Mack. Shout out to my girl Shay Mack. This was a movie she just was in, and you can find it on my YouTube channel. It was Watch and Sip movie night. So check that out. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So Shay Mack said, well, she got it from Benjamin's Blue Franklin, but I got it from her. So I credited her, and it says, this is my energy right here. And that was me. If you're supporting me before the world catch on, I appreciate you. Okay. You understand me? If you're supporting me before the world catch on, I appreciate you, because I am working extremely hard to do something that is a purpose. This is a purpose. I prayed on this. Okay. This is a purpose, and my voice will get louder the more that I become comfortable, the more that I am walking in my truth with God, because I'm never, ever going to stop talking about God. Okay, on my pod. You just have to turn the show. If I'm on the pod, you understand. However, I do want to find people, because I want to be a producer. I want to be behind the scenes, kind of directing the pod, kind of, you know, I'm starting to like that type of stuff. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of research on editing and doing different things like that. So the end of this year, that is my goal. And I'm just letting people know now. It's just like a church getting planted. The people connect with you. You build a small community. It might be 5 people that help plant the church, and then you see that church grow into 500,000. But it was those 5 people that you leaned on because you need somebody, right? And they were there. Versus an example, I had reached out to some people that have larger platforms than me on Facebook, and said, hey, you know what? I would like you to da 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 da. And they agreed. But then my spirit wasn't sitting right with me because I didn't pray on it first. And then I looked back and I said, well, they ain't never even liked anything that I've ever done. I didn't even see a like on anything. Maybe a couple of days after I had asked. But then from there, I was like, there's no engagement with these people. I need people who actually understand my pod, who understand what I'm doing, and who have the same focus. So I am looking for people to actually start their journey and wanting to, you know, be a part of what I'm doing and connect with me now before I start to really, really grow, because I see the growth in what I'm doing. I see it on YouTube for sure. Okay. I'm getting a lot of different people. I'm looking at my analytics, and I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. So I'm definitely going to be looking for people that actually want to be host and I be on the background of things, because this is a media company and I want to be on the background in the future. So I had to put that out there. And let's see. Shout out to Rockin' Buddha. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. My IG people holding me down. Thank you so much. For everybody on Facebook that shows some love, Monique Williams. And I know this was a long pod, a long stream. This is how my transparency, go back to my other transparencies. Some of them are really, really deep, but this is where I actually spend the most time in sharing, because I am a guarded person and I am a private person. But because of the fact that this life was chosen upon me to be able, since I, have been in hip hop and rapped and, all that, I was the shy person that could rhyme on stage and just kill it. Okay. But when I'm one-on-one with somebody or behind closed doors or it was like, ugh. Now I'm starting to find my way in this game. But I also know what God has called me to, and that's to give other people a spotlight while I assist with them being able to voice the things that they need to voice, as long as we're on the same focus. We don't have to have the same conversations, but we need to be in alignment on the values. Okay. So I'm just putting that out there so y'all can actually start paying more attention and take a look at some of the pods, some of the things that I potted on, and see what my topics are if you don't know. Okay. And with that being said, I'm gonna leave y'all with my boy Phil Durrell, this dope gospel artist that will also be on Lights Camera Action in the future. But he's one of my faves. He is cold. So please make sure y'all go follow him on IG, follow him on YouTube, follow him on all of the Spotify. Yeah, he's hecka dope. And take a look at my I just made it. I told y'all I'm not high tech. Take a look at what is the link tree. Take a look at my link tree, guys. And hold on to that, because you'll start seeing a lot of different things popping up in it. Okay. Let's see. I guess. Oops, sorry. I was trying. Oh, y'all know I'm still new to this. I ain't true to this. Well, I'm true to it, but I'm new to it. Okay, let me find, before we get out of here, let me find for you guys. Let me find my hand claps to make sure that I get y'all. I think this is it. Where my hand claps at? Oh, here you go. Y'all deserve a hand clap for the 2 hours and 32 minutes and 53 seconds that y'all been with me. If you've been with me that long, love y'all and mean it. Thank you so much. About to leave out with my boy Sounds Like a Win. And then also stay tuned for my girl Shanine Bonner trailer, From Homeless to Hollywood. She is she's got a documentary coming out, and I want y'all to look at that too. Okay. All right. Bye.
Fact that I woke up this morning definitely sound like a win. I ain't get paid today, definitely sound like a win. Woke up with clothes on my back, definitely sound like a win. Still got a roof on my head, definitely sound like a win. Definitely sound like a win, definitely sound like a win. Definitely at the end of the night. Definitely sound like a win. Life is a fight for the heavyweight tight. Less than 12 rounds in the ring. Will you get back on your feet when you get knocked down and it counting to 10? I can't complain, I got the cover on me. I got the blood, it's on me. I had addiction, ain't no more drugs, it's on me. Jesus, they clean it off me, wean it off me. Just like the mud is on me. They don't see a thug as holy. I'm from the streets, I keep the Bible on me. Word is the gun is on me. Ay, ay, took a long time to deceive. When they be judging on me, that's they problem. They can take it up with them in G.O.D. That don't bother me, cause God told me that you gon' see your dream. They gon' try to talk you down once they believe they leave you be. Ay, ay, fact that I woke up this morning definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back, definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, still got a roof on my head, definitely sound like a win. Ay, kept my life a secret then, but now y'all see. I'm thanking God right now for even I'm hard to beat. Everything unclean, I'm glad it's finally all to be. I do it for the king and that's just how it gotta be. Let's go out there and win, I gotta give you the same faith. This sound like locker room, we ready to win like it's game day. I'm trying to spread the word and make some noise in the same way. I'm trying to save some souls and lift them up in the same day. Ay, ay, took a loss, then I bossed up. Devil mad cause he lost us. My hard work paid off. We're taking no days off. We straight to the house like a boss. And we is not taking no loss. Cam Newton with the toss. Marshawn with the sauce. Ay, fact that I woke up this morning definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, still got a roof on my head. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, fact that I woke up this morning definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, still got a roof on my head. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, definitely sound like a win. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, definitely sound like a win. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, I ain't get buried today. Definitely sound like a win. Ay, ay, woke up with clothes on my back. Definitely sound like a win. I woke up this morning definitely sound like a
I'm living in California, one of the richest states in America. But I felt like I was living in a third world country. My aunt, she called me and said, the Lord told me to tell you to go to California, that you're going to California. And I'm on the phone with her. I said, I'm not going to California. And I'm just crying. I said, this is not my promised land. This is my problem land. And I said, I am not staying here. Got the song done, got it on the radio. Bam, it hit number 58 on the Billboard indicator chart. And I'm just like, what? I prayed and I said, Lord, if you want me to go to Los Angeles, it's two things that you have to make sure that you provide for me. That I never sleep outside and that I'll never be broke. But I know that it was a plan and a purpose for it.